Okay, so task number 19 asks you to verify enrollment counts, and this is going to be for both standard time and accommodations. So in the description, make sure you go to PANext and go to Edit Enrollment Counts to verify that all standard time students are listed and all accommodation students are listed. Those are the students that will be sent materials, either paper-based or online. So the directions are there, so I gave you the steps, so make sure you go through all of these steps, okay? And these steps will be explanatory. So let's go ahead and actually go through this in real time. Okay, so you're going to go to PANext, and then you're going to go to Setup. You're going to go to Organization, and when you do this, it's still turning. Your organization will either appear or you're going to have to search. So I'm going to say Show All Results. So every school in our district is listed. Okay. All right. So now to go to Edit Enrollment Counts, you're going to go to the Start menu right here. See, all these are checked, right? So just make sure. Now you're only going to have one school, so just make sure that's checked. I'm just going to go through all of them. All right. So we are then going to go to Start. I'm going to just do all tasks. Okay. And when you do that, you're going to get Create Edit Organization, Test Day Selection, Edit Enrollment Counts. The Edit Enrollment Counts is what you want. So let's go ahead and click on Edit Enrollment Counts. And I'm going to go to Arlington first. All right, just to kind of show you a few. I'm not going to go to all of these. I'm just going to show you a few. So when I go to Arlington, see that little plus symbol right here? You're going to click on that plus symbol for standard time. And right now, Arlington has, for standard time, ACT is indicating that Arlington has 28 students that are taking the test standard time. If you click on accommodation formats, do the plus sign, there are 0. But Arlington has students taking the test by accommodations, that has accommodations. So one of the things that Arlington needs to do, and that was one of the previous tasks as well, is she or he has to now conduct task number 20. So task 20 is where you link the PIN numbers in PANext. All right, so that's going to be important. So notice there are no accommodations listed at all, either paper or online. But we all know that Arlington has students with accommodations. So task number 20 has to now be performed. Okay, so and the other thing is, if you click on this hyperlink, it's actually going to list all the students. So let me kind of show you what that looks like. So notice there are 28 students, right? So when you click on this link with 28, you're going to see this. All right, so you're going to see 28 students, and there will be 28 students listed. You just have to use that vertical bar right here. But it's going to have the student ACT code. It's going to have the last name, first name, the gender, date of birth, and the LACID, and then there's the grade level. Okay, so that's what you're going to see. You have to make sure that those students are correctly listed. That each student, whether it's standard time or accommodations, is correct, and make sure the grade level is correct as well. Okay. All right, so that is clicking on, I'm going to move this out of the way. So that's clicking on this blue hyperlink right here. All right, now let's look at Baton Rouge High. So Baton Rouge High, when I go to the standard time testing, has 726 students taking the test online. And for accommodations, there's 1 student taking the test paper. And if Baton Rouge High clicked on that hyperlink, that student's name would show up. There are 23 students with accommodations that's taking the test online. All right, so there's 726 taking the test, the standard time test online. And for accommodations, there's 1 student taking the paper version, and there's 23 taking the online version. So Baton Rouge High has to go through each of these, the online, check to make sure all those students are correctly listed as taking the test online. And for the accommodations, Baton Rouge High has to go to the paper version right here and make sure that that student is correctly listed for the paper version. And the 23 that's here, look at all those 23 students and verify that those students are listed correctly. Every student listed is receiving accommodations online. All right, and then there's no Braille, but let's see if Baton Rouge High has any translated test instructions for English learners. So if you click on that, let's see. Let me go ahead and click on it again. So notice there's nothing there. So Baton Rouge High does not have any students, any translated test instructions for English learners. So let's look at Bel Air High. So when I click on Bel Air High, we're going to go to Standard Time. When I click on Standard Time, Bel Air High School has 184 students. 184 students, both juniors and seniors, that are taking the test online for Standard Time. If I go to accommodations, Bel Air only has 3 students so far that is scheduled to take 3 accommodated students so far that is scheduled to take the test online. But again, we all know that Bel Air High School has more students with accommodations. So what does Bel Air have to do? Well, Bel Air has to conduct task number 20. You have to go into you have to go in PANext and link the PIN numbers to those students, the TAA PIN numbers. Otherwise, those students that have accommodations will be scheduled to take the standard time test. All right, so you got to make sure that you are conducting task number 20 as well. So you have to do task number 19, which is verifying those enrollment counts, and you have to conduct task number 20, which is linking those PIN numbers. So I would assume right now that those 3 students that are here were seniors with accommodations. Okay, so remember, the state just uploaded the juniors. So most of these are probably juniors, and some of them have accommodations, but Bel Air High School now needs to go and link those PIN numbers in PANext to those juniors needing accommodations. So let's look at, and let me go down to the translated test instructions. So I'm clicking on translated test instructions. Let's do it again. All right, let's do it one more time. So Bel Air High School at this point does not have any students, taking the test that needs translated test instructions for English learners. But if Bel Air High School goes and links those juniors in PANext to their PIN numbers, some of them probably do have translated test instructions, and then this will be populated. So it's very important that you perform task 19, which is verifying enrollment count, and then task 20, which is linking those TAA PIN numbers in PANext. Let's go to Broadmoor High School and see what is occurring at Broadmoor High School. So when I go to Broadmoor High School, standard time testing, it's having a little glitch here, so let's do it again. There are 177 students at Broadmoor High School that are right now scheduled to take the test online for standard time. If I go to accommodations, right now, there are no student at Broadmoor High School as of right now, 6:05 p.m. on a Tuesday, is scheduled to take the test online or paper for accommodations. So what does Broadmoor High need to do? Broadmoor High needs to do task 20 as well. Some of those students have accommodations. Broadmoor High School needs to go into PANext and link the PIN numbers to those students. So therefore, the accommodations will be populated. So once they're populated, let's say there are 10 students here that have accommodations, then this will decrease by 10. So this will now say, let's say 167, and this will say 10. All right, so notice all of you have to now go in, for those juniors especially, because some of you already did the seniors. Now, Broadmoor High School did not do the seniors yet, but you need to go in and make sure that you are linking those PIN numbers, because right now there are no accommodated students at Broadmoor High School taking the test. Taking the test by accommodations. Right now, all the students are taking the standard time test for online. So if I go to, let's say, I'm going to go to Glen Oaks High School. So let's look at Glen Oaks High School. So when I go to Glen Oaks High School, we'll do the same thing. So we're going to go to standard time. Notice there are 109 students. 109 students that are going to take the standard time test online. If I go to the accommodation formats, notice there are none. So what does Glen Oaks High School have to do? Glen Oaks High School has to perform task 20. Glen Oaks High School has to look at this list right here, click on that hyperlink, all the students will show up. Glen Oaks High School has to determine which of those students were approved for accommodations, and then go back into PANext and link those students with those PIN numbers. So therefore, this will populate. All right, and then let's go to Liberty Magnet High School. So if I go to Liberty, if I go to Liberty and I do the standard time testing, notice there are 483 students at Liberty that are going to take the standard time test. And remember, standard time test is all online. You're never going to see paper here for standard time. Let's look at accommodations. If I go to accommodations, notice there are 13 students. There are 13 students right here. They're going to accommodations. They're going to take the paper version. Okay. There is one student that needs the audio kit. All right. So Liberty High School can click on the hyperlinks to see which of those to see the names of those students. But those 14 students you see here, those are seniors. So now Liberty High School has to go through this list right here to find out which ones are juniors, and there could be some seniors as well, but needs to go in this list that's listed as standard time and make sure that those that are receiving accommodations, Liberty High School needs to go into PANext and link the TAA PIN numbers to those students. That is task number 20. So let me remind you what task number 20 is. So task number 20 is linking PIN numbers into PANext. And so these are the steps. So make sure you are following the steps. It's the same steps you did when you when you did that for the seniors a few weeks ago. So it was in December you did this. That was one of the tasks in December. But make sure when you get to number 7, step number 7, when you click on Manage Student Test, make sure the delivery format is correct. So see, if this says paper and it's supposed to be online, make sure you choose online. All right, so that's important. All right, so that is task number 20. So task 20 is linking the PIN numbers to into PANext. All of you will have to do this. All of you will have to perform task 20 because we just uploaded the juniors. So just like you did with the seniors last month that you are retesting, you're going to do this with the juniors. Now remember, the state just uploaded the juniors, all juniors, and any senior without an ACT score. So you need to look at those seniors also, because some of those seniors may be that some of the seniors that have accommodations may be still listed as standard time online. So you need to go and check every student, make sure everything is accurate. Okay. All right. So notice Liberty High School is given the standard time. I'm sorry, the accommodations paper-based. If you go to, let's say, I'm going to go to one more. Let's do Terra High School. If you go to Terra High School, let's do the same thing. So I'm going to the standard time. Let's see. Hopefully it'll open. There we go. So there's 215 students that are listed as standard time. For accommodations, there are 3. Right here, you see there's a 3 and there's a 1, right? So there are 3 students that have accommodations, that are going to receive accommodations test booklet, and that need accommodations and they can take the test online. There is 1 student that's going to need the audio kit, so that's going to be paper. Okay, but remember, those are probably seniors because the juniors were just uploaded, and those are seniors. Those are seniors that already had an ACT score. So and what school are we on? We are Terra High School. So what Terra High School has to now do is go through these 215 students, verify which ones are accommodated students, both juniors and seniors, because there could still be some seniors in here with accommodations, and perform task number 20. Also, again, task number 19 is to verify enrollment, so make sure you're still doing task number 19 and task number 20 together. Task number 19 says, look at the 215 students, look at these 3 students, look at this 1 student, and make sure that those students are correctly listed. Okay? And let's look at Woodlawn. Woodlawn. So let's look at Woodlawn. So if we click on the little plus sign here, at Woodlawn, it's still, okay, there we go. There are 506 students at Woodlawn that are currently scheduled to take the standard time test. We know that's not true, right? We know that's not true because some of those are juniors and some of those are seniors without an ACT score that need accommodations. So Woodlawn High School needs to perform task 20. If I go to accommodation formats, let's see what's there. So if I go to accommodation formats, there are 21 students scheduled to take the, let me rephrase it. There are 21 accommodated students, or students with authorized accommodations that are going to take the test online. See that? But those are seniors with an ACT score already. So what Woodlawn High School needs to do now is go through these 506 students, determine which one of those have authorized accommodations, and then conduct task 20, linking the PIN numbers into PANext to each of those students. Okay, so that is, and obviously there's not going to, well, let's see what happens in the translated test instructions. There's nothing there. So that is how you would do task 19. So here's task 19. So remember, task 19, let me pull it up, is Task 19 is verifying enrollment counts for both standard and accommodations. And then you're also going to do task 20. And task 20 is linking PIN numbers into PANext. All right, so that is your next two tasks, task 19 and task 20. If you have any questions, please let me know.